Hello boys and girls, Brad the Guitarologist here. In this video, we're going to take a look at some more things that were sent to me by Teemu. If you don't know who Teemu is, let's let Brad from 6 months ago tell you all about it. And download the Teemu app. You know, they've also got free shipping and free returns on all their stuff. Like if something arrives late even, they give you like some money back. So I'm going to put the link to the app down in the description. It'll be right at the top of the description there if you want to check that out. Also, there's a search code. If you use the code, you'll get a $100 coupon bundle. Okay, so the last time they sent me stuff to build a couple of guitars, and we did that. We got some stuff for my drum set, which upgraded that. We got some accessories and also some microphones and stuff to mic up my drums. You know, I was kind of running out of ideas, to be quite honest, with stuff I could do through Teemu. They reached out to me again and said, hey, you want to make another video for us? And I said, I don't know about this one. I'm not sure. Let me look and see what's still available that's still within my guitar purview. And I did find that they had a lot of pedals and pedal accessories. So I thought, all right, you know what? I'm not much of a pedal guy. I've never claimed to be much of a pedal guy. I've never even reviewed that many pedals or even repaired that many pedals on this channel, even though I do have some pedal repairs. I'll put up here some pedal repairs if you want to go check those out. But, you know, I'm just not a pedal guy. But I thought to myself, hey, you know, maybe that's a hole in my market. So maybe I should do more stuff with pedals. So what I've done today is I have ordered some pedals from Teemu, and we're going to take a look at the pedals, some of the pedals at least, that they have on their website that are available. We have a pedal board here as well. You can't see it because it's covered up with stuff. And the board's underneath there. We've got a power supply for the board. We've got an ABY switch. We've got all the stuff that we need to build the board. We've got tape for underneath the pedals to keep them on the board. We've got Teemu even had all of the little, you know, short cables that we can hook up the pedal board. So this is what we're going to do in this one. We're going to build a pedal board, but we're also going to go through a bunch of these pedals, these smaller pedals, see which ones we kind of want to add to the board. What I did was I thought, okay, what would I like on my pedal board? So I thought about it for a bit and went through some of the pedals and some of the things that were available. And I thought, okay, well, first of all, we're going to need some kind of overdrive, right? So I ordered a couple of different overdrives. This one's more of a crunch distortion. We've got a vintage overdrive here. I'm not sure if this US Stream, I can't remember if that was an overdrive or not. I think it is. But we're going to open all these up. We're going to take a look at the pedals. This is like some generic pedals that they had on there. They're not really labeled. They're just like effects, like 1 through however many they make. I don't know how many were made, but we got number 1, we got number 3, we got number 4, 8, 9, and number 6. So we're missing a few from this particular line. But these things were so cheap, it was like, okay, if nothing else, I might be able to turn you guys on to some really cheap pedals here that would get you through a gig. And we're gonna try to build this whole pedal board for under 250 bucks. We got these Delamo pedals as well. Now I had seen these reviewed by some other YouTubers as well in the past. So, you know, I look for these to actually probably be pretty darn good pedals, especially for the money. These things are so cheap. So this is a D1. This is a compressor. So I thought, hey, we surely need a compressor on our pedal board. So that for sure will go on the board. We have a chorus here. We've got a delay. We're going to need a delay, and we got a couple of delays. So we've got this delay, and we also got this delay. So we'll put those head to head. We've got this overdrive. We got this overdrive. So we'll put these head to head and see which ones of those we want. Let's open this one first. I'll just kind of show you what one of these typically looks like. Here's the size of the thing. Aluminum case. This one says true bypass here, US Dream. We've got our in and our out. We've got an LED, tone knob, volume, and distortion. These are really close together, so this is going to be one of those kind of set it and forget it on your pedal board things. This not really conducive to reaching down and turning knobs in the middle of the set. Like I said, we had the power supply here, which should be enough for, I think it's it's up to 10 pedals. We've got a 12 volt and an 18 volt outlet here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 9 volters. We also have a USB supply. We have our 18 volts in and an on-off switch. We've already opened this pedal, but we can see what this kind of looks like. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to open every single one of these pedals, but I will open one of each type and we'll kind of get a look at it. So let's go ahead and open this one since we've already got it out. Alright, now it'll slide apart. Here we go. Okay. Definitely aluminum. There's no way that's not aluminum, unless it's maybe magnesium or something, because it's lighter than anything. We've got two different boards here, kind of stacked. One holds the input, output, and the switch here. We've talked about these switches in the past and how they're not exactly 100% reliable switches. These aren't the best switches in the world for long term. What ends up happening is this plastic piece right here comes apart from this piece. These little forked teeth right here kind of hold this plastic piece in place, and if those kind of give way, the plastic piece can separate from right here. Pretty much exactly what I expected. You know, it's made to a price point, and it's obviously not hand wired or anything like that. It's not a boutique pedal. 4580, there's a 4580. Those are probably op amps. This is probably an overdrive. Okay, no, it's distortion. Volume, distortion, tone. Okay, it's a distortion pedal. Anyway, yeah, like I said, this is pretty much exactly what I would have guessed, you know, would be the case. Nothing surprising here, and definitely what I would have expected from a pedal that is this inexpensive. I mean, we're talking about, I think these things are like less than 20 bucks. These pedals. I think every pedal here pretty much is either $20 and less. Like I said, I wanted to try to build out an entire board of these, so I was trying to keep the cost down, and I figured, hey, that'll give us a chance to see some of these cheaper pedals. Machining and everything on this is really impeccable. It's just nicely made for as cheap as this thing is. I mean, this housing and everything, it really feels like it has a nice quality. Now, there's no really snazzy screen printing or anything like that. There's no multicolored, you know, fancy stuff on the outside. Cosmetically, it is what it is. It's just a very simple pedal, but it seems well made for what it is. It really does. But anyway, there's one of them. Let's go ahead and unbox the rest of these, and we'll just kind of get a gander at them. Each one of these generic pedals comes with a pretty generic manual, which has nothing to do really with the actual pedal itself, but just as a generic kind of manual for their entire pedal line. So it's not, you know, it's not anything I would want to feel like I would need to keep or anything. It's just a piece of paper. Like I said, packaging minimal, documentation very minimal. We do have the same manual. Looks like the same manual here. Do not disassemble or repair this unit by yourself. Do not store this unit in a high temperature, high humidity, dirty or strong shock places. Do not drop or bump the unit on a hard surface. Do not use cleaning liquid alcohol. Unplug the power cable if not using the unit for a long period of time. Let's see. They've got some specs on certain ones of these pedals. Let's see if we can get zoomed in on that so you can see that little chart right there. Okay, so I'm just going to open up the rest of these, and then we'll start getting to the point where we can start testing them. Okay, so here are all these generic pedals that I got. There are 6 of them. Again, we have a digital delay, a crunch distortion, a vintage overdrive, vintage phaser, US Dream, which is a distortion pedal, and we have this tremolo pedal. So, like I said, a couple of these effects are going to be duplicates. But let's open one of these Delamo pedals here, and we'll see what's up with these. And look at that color. That is the brightest yellow possible. It really is. Neon yellow. Okay, we'll open up one of these and see what kind of construction we have going on here. I'm going to presume it's very similar. These are just all so inexpensive. It's kind of so inexpensive that it's hard to resist the urge if you're a pedal hound not to treat yourself, I would imagine. You know, I'm not much of a pedal guy, like I said, but if they'd had stuff like this when when I was young, you know, when I was a teenager, you know, you can bet that I would have taken my paycheck and probably spent half of it just accumulating cheap pedals like this. We've got a little spacer back here. We've got this back plate, which is metal. So obviously these have a bigger footprint than these generic ones. They're about 50% larger, I'd say. Alright, now we should see what's going on. Oh yeah. This is really on par with a lot of so-called boutique pedals now. You know, I mean, looks like a decently printed circuit board. It's double-sided. They got traces on both sides of this board. Yeah, it looks pretty well put together. They've got their brand name and everything on here. And it's got a date of 3/11 of 2021. So I guess that was the design for this board. Oh, also in the package, it does come with these rubber feet if you wanted to punch these out and put those on. Is that a Phillips? What is that? J2931048. And this one's a 4580 over here. And then we've got another little integrated circuit down there. Yeah, I mean, everything's surface mounted, but it looks really well put together. I mean, so far, I am pleasantly surprised. Let's get this back in the case and then we'll open up the rest of these. Okay, here's a chorus pedal. It's a nice attractive blue color. Compressor. Okay, this one's got some different style feet. Those are a little more bubbly. Alright, so there's that one. There's the overdrive. So let's separate these out into categories. We know that our phaser and our tremolo are going on for sure, so we'll put those back there. So those are for sure going on the board. But these, we are going to pit against one another and see which one we like better, and then we'll weed them out. Let's start with the delays. For this test, I'm just using my little solid-state bench amp. It's a little tiny practice amp. We're not looking to go crazy with this. We're just going to see what gives us the better impression and use that one. One thing I have forgotten, though, is the power supply. So let's go ahead and open this power supply. This is a Godtone power supply, a GD02. Again, there will be links in the description to all of these products if you want to check them out for yourself. Comes with all the connector cables that you need. There's a couple females. So we'll let you check that out right there. And I think all these are going to be 9 volts. Let's see. Yep. 9 volt negative center. 9 volt negative center on all of these. Yep. Okay, now on this power strip, some of these are for 100 milliamps and some are for higher current pedals. We shouldn't have anything really here that is going to require the higher currents, but they are. It's good to know that there are a couple here if you need them. There's also a couple of 100 milliamp higher voltage. There's a DC 12 volt output here and an 18 volt. There we go. And we have power. So let's check this one out. We'll see what this one sounds like. Now, it might be cool to have both of these actually on the board, one set to a short delay and one set to a longer delay. Possibly they can both stay. We'll see if we have enough room on the board and if we have enough power supply for that. Okay, no, that's passable. It's a passable distortion. Okay, this one sounds better when you boost the volume and keep the gain down. I know it's kind of hard to see the controls. Sorry for that. But yeah, definitely better if you boost the volume and keep the gain a little bit lower. Yeah, I guess it's kind of passable in some respects, but I'm not a huge fan, really. Let's bring this guy into the mix now. This is supposed to be an overdrive, and so is this one. Okay, so this one's probably going on the board. You know, I think this would be okay, like in the front end of, you know, a tube amp that was just on the verge of distortion, and then kick this in to just kick it into overdrive. I think this would be a good little boost. Let's try this one here. This one has 4 controls, so got a little more to play with, bass and treble. I definitely prefer this one over this one. Pretty sure about that. Although this one's not too bad, I mean, when you dial it in. I like this one better. It's got a little bit of a meaner, a bit more meat to it or something. I don't know. This one's a bit more nasally. Would probably sound great on the right rig, but I think I might like this one a smidge better. So yeah, distortion pedal, we're gonna go with this. Overdrive, we'll go with this guy. All right, so that does it for the shootout portion. So now we're gonna build this pedal board, and for that, we'll go ahead and take the ones that we already know are gonna go on the board. We'll set these two aside. We'll set this one aside, this crunch distortion and this guy. So we won't put those on. We've got an ABY switch. We'll get that set up. Oh, we didn't open the ABY switch. M-Wave, ABY channel switch pedal. And it's pretty much exactly what you think it is. It's just a way to switch between two different signal paths. All right, so this will allow us to run like a wet dry rig if we want. The only thing I did not get, obviously, is some kind of volume pedal. So I might get a volume pedal / wah pedal next time to put over here, but for now we'll just build out this part of the board. Okay, so here's the underside of the pedal board, and as you can see, it's kind of this plastic material. The only thing I am complaining about really is the fact that it only included 2 screws, and this thing was loose. And then it came with a screwdriver though, and it also came with Velcro tape. What I have in mind here is a setup really for like a Fender style amp where you have 2 different channels, and one of the channels will be used in conjunction with this pedal, while the other channel on the amp will be just, you know, kind of a straight up no frills tone. So you'll be able to switch that with this. That's the idea anyway. I might switch things up, but we'll see. This ABY pedal, it has a DC voltage in, also has a USB. You can get voltage through a USB as well if you want, but the only thing that really does is turns the LED on and off. If you don't want LED or it's not necessary, it will still work without it. It's a passive pedal. Okay, so here is the finished board. Guitar comes in here at the compressor. I'm probably going to leave the compressor on pretty much most of the time I use this board anyway, so you want the cleanest signal going to the compressor and everything after to always be after your compressed signal. After the compressor, we go to the ABY switch. Now on the ABY switch right now, we're only using one side of it. In other words, we're coming into the C input, and and A and B are the 2 outputs in this case. You can actually reverse this as well if you wanted to. You could have 2 inputs and the 1 output if you're, like, say, wanting to switch guitars between 2 guitars and go to the same amplifier. You could do that and then just hit this, and you don't even have to switch your guitar. So that's another way to use this ABY switch too. It would be nice to have probably 1 or 2 more of these even, and you could put one at the end of the chain so that if you wanted to, for instance, like in this case, I could go straight out to to the board, straight into the camera to record audio out of the guitar if I wanted to do that and mix in the audio like that. So that's one benefit for having multiples of these. Probably, 2 or 3 of them on the same board wouldn't be out of the question. Anyway, so after the ABY switch, which right now will act as a kill because I've got A/B, so when it goes to the A, it's sending the signal nowhere, so it's kind of a kill for the board, right? So at the end of a song or something like that, I could just hit that and then everything dies. I don't have to even turn my guitar down. I could just stomp that at the end of the track and it's done. After that, we've got super chorus. If you want a lot of chorus, you can. Okay, and after that we have phaser. This phaser pedal does not work. It doesn't do anything. So we'll have to take this off the board first of all at some point, replace it with something, I don't know what. We may have to rework this as a result, but we'll figure it out later. For now I'm just leaving it on here, but I'm not using it because it doesn't do anything. It does something, it actually just strips the tone out. Anyway, I've got this overdrive pedal. Okay, and right after the overdrive pedal, we're cascading directly into this US Dream pedal, which sends it into another stage of distortion. Obviously, it gets a little bit noisy. You know, if you got everything up and these kicked on. After this stream pedal, we've got delay. I've got both delays on here. I've got this one set to a slap back. Then after that, this one is set to a longer delay. And of course, we've got the tremolo here. so I think the compressor is a good pedal. The chorus is decent. I mean, it's not the greatest chorus in the world. So yeah, I like the overdrive pedal. I like this US Dream pedal. The delays are pretty good. The tremolo's okay. As you increase the intensity on the strumento pedal, it has a tendency to drop off in volume. So about straight up is the most you can put it on without starting to lose signal. That is my Teemu pedal board. Tell me if you guys have done the same thing with Teemu pedals down in the comments. I'd like to hear your experiences. As for my experience, You know, we had most of these pedals that worked out pretty good. The vintage phase did not work for some reason. Maybe I'll open that up in a separate video and take a look at that and see why that's not working. But yeah, I can say that the pedal board itself seems pretty good. It's pretty sturdy. I mean, it's plastic, but it's also seems like it'll hold up okay. The only thing I did not like is that the holes on this board where you pass your cables through, they will not accept a higher quality cable. You can't get them. You can't get this through here, an angled cable, which is a pain in the butt because I ended up having to use a cable with a straight end on it, and it takes up a lot of room out here. And you can see this just kind of sticking out to the side. So I kind of don't like that. But I mean, obviously, I can get around it and work with it. So it's not the end of the world, but it is a complaint. Let's see, what else? The power supply actually is really nice, I mean, for the money. Again, these will all be down in the description, links to this stuff. This Godtone GD-02 is the model number of the power supply. So the power supply seems to be pretty decent, actually. I did not open up the power supply. I'm sorry about that. I should have. But I'm pretty sure you probably know about what to expect on a power supply from China. So, but yeah, man, the power supply seems good. The board seems pretty good. Came with all the tape and stuff you need to put on the bottom of your pedals to keep them to the board, and they stick really nicely. I mean, these aren't going anywhere. I could turn this whole thing upside down, and they're not gonna fall off of this. Yeah, man, a few of these actually are really, I mean, really decent. You can't shake a stick at it. The compressor's great. The ABY switch, man, this is, like I said, I could see myself having a use for probably 2 or 3 of these ABY switches like this. What else? The overdrive. This one, this overdrive right here is pretty good. I have to say, this would be a pretty flexible overdrive. If you like a Boss OD1, this has a very similar sort of thing going on with it. This US Dream pedal's pretty good. I can vouch for that too. I like this Delamo delay pretty good. Both of these actually would have a place. Pretty good stuff here for no more than they cost. So that'll do it for this video. If you liked it, hit subscribe. And for now, we'll see y'all later.